The Certified Wealth Strategist presents Tactical Strategies Now podcast series. The Recession. When will we know it's over? In the next few minutes, Clark Brown, a performance consultant to top-performing advisors and their firms, will share with you some valuable strategies and information that you can use right now with your clients.
So how many times a day do you hear this question? Is the recession over? There are plenty of signs that the recession is over or that the end is at least in sight. For one, the Dow climbed to 10,000 for the first time in a long time, up about 60% since its low in early spring of this year. Beyond this, on September 15, 2009, Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke proclaimed that the Great Recession was probably over. But in comments addressed to the Brookings Institute in Washington, Bernanke went on to hedge his bet, saying it's still going to feel like a very weak economy for some time. Also, don't forget that Washington Post article from October 2005 that quotes Bernanke as saying that, in his view, the rise in housing prices didn't constitute a troublesome asset bubble. Comments like that have caused some to doubt Bernanke's credibility. On a broader scale, a recent survey of 44 professional forecasters released by the National Association for Business Economics, also known as the NABE, found that 80% of the respondents believed the economy was growing again after 4 straight quarters of decline. However, NABE President-elect Lynn Reeser noted that the economic recovery is likely to be more moderate than those typically experienced following steep declines. In just about everybody's view, 2 major drags on the recovery will be high unemployment, anticipated to continue at the 10% level well into 2010, and unenthusiastic consumer spending. Many trace both joblessness and the lack of consumer spending back to a root cause of tighter credit as banks seek to gain a more solid financial footing. Obviously, for someone out of work, out of a home, or out of credit, the recession seems far from over. Furthermore, some areas of the economy and some areas of the country are likely to take longer to recover than others. For example, some industries such as financial services appear to have turned the corner, with Goldman Sachs and other banks posting record earnings in the third quarter. On the other hand, with the exception of the sales attributed to the Cash for Clunkers program, manufacturing remains sluggish. Housing prices are not expected to hit bottom until the end of the year, and areas of the country hardest hit by the home lending crisis are likely to be the slowest to bounce back. Thus, the latest data, as an example, from the UNLV economist Keith Schweer, show that in Las Vegas, there's no sign of the recession letting up. Although the Southern Nevada Index of Leading Indicators showed its second increase in 3 months, Schweer called the September index increase a blip, pointing out that the index is still 3.26% below a year ago. Furthermore, while unemployment may be leveling off nationally, Southern Nevada lost 60,000 jobs in the 12 months ending this past August, and consumer spending remains in the doldrums. Small businesses, a major engine of the national economy, continue to struggle, and some small business owners are among the least optimistic of those polled. When asked in September whether they agree or disagree that the recession is over for their business, 69% of small business owners disagreed. Only 13% agreed, and 18% couldn't be sure. More specifically, the latest Small Business Watch from Discover, that index fell to 87.7 in September, down from 2.1 points from August. So here's some insights on how business owners are feeling right now. On spending, 50% of small business owners say they plan to decrease spending on business development activities such as advertising, inventory, capital expenditures. Now that's a jump from 43% in August. Similarly, those who plan to increase spending fell to 25% from 27% in August, and 22% aren't planning changes. On the economy, 53% of small business owners rate the economy as poor. That's up from 48% in August. 36% rate it as fair, and 10% say it's excellent or good. Looking at what's ahead, 46% of small business owners think the economy is getting worse. That's up 43% in August, but still down considerably from the 73% of 1 year ago. This month, 33% of owners say the economy is getting better, down from 38% in August, and 18% say it's the same, which is up from 15% in August, and 3% aren't sure. Nonetheless, Ryan Scully, director of Discover's Business Credit, pointed out that although September numbers showed a decrease in confidence, quote, small business confidence has been on a gradual climb since May, unquote. Furthermore, of the 87% of small business owners who say they own a home, only 6% reported being in foreclosure or behind on their mortgage payments. That matches the trend among consumers generally. A big question mark for small business is the cost of health care. Even with health care reform apparently in the offing, the New York Times has reported that health insurers are expected to increase premiums significantly in the coming months. Perhaps the brightest nugget to come out of the reports and research is this. Robert J. Gordon, an acclaimed macroeconomics professor at Northwestern University, is one of 7 members of the elite Business Cycle Dating Committee of the National Bureau of Economic Analysis, mentioned earlier. These are the people who decide officially, for the record books, when recessions begin and end. They're usually very conservative and wait until months after everyone knows the recession is over before they offer their pronouncement. But Gordon was behind NEBA's gutsy call in September saying that the recession is over. The basis for his conclusion is an indicator that he says the committee never even looks at: claims for unemployment benefits. He's talking about the so-called jobless number that is released every Thursday morning before the market opens. Based on detailed data from state agencies, it reports the number of workers who have asked for unemployment benefits in the previous week. As Gordon points out, there's no other major economics statistic that comes out so frequently and so close to real time. According to Gordon's research, in every recession since 1974, the peak in jobless claims came within weeks of the bottom of the recession. With claims mostly on the steady decline, Gordon believes the worst is behind us. Let's hope he's right.
This podcast was brought to you by the Certified Wealth Strategist. If you missed a previous podcast or would like to learn more about the fastest growing certification in the financial services industry, please visit www.certifiedwealthstrategist.com.